Okay.
because the level of DUMBs that they're clearing out has gone to such a number. I can't cover it all anymore.
Okay.
So if you go on the USGS site and you put your filter for 3 kilometers, exactly 3.0, 5.0, and 10.0 earthquakes, what you'll see is really bizarre. You'll see hundreds and hundreds of earthquakes, all exactly at 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and 3 kilometers. Earthquakes don't happen at a specific depth, all say, one after another. And so that's obviously dumb clear outs. And then another thing you can see, which is even more unusual and bizarre, is like off the coast of California last month, there was a minus 300 meter earthquake. In other words, 300 meters up in the ocean, in ocean quake. It's called a shape charge, where you do a percussion wave that blows the dome and floods it with the pressure of the ocean water that you caused a shape charge to do. There was also one over Idaho that was minus 353 meters, or 3.53 kilometers. In other words, something tried to get out. It's an airquake. the air shook, right? So you had something that was stealth trying to get out, and the Alliance took it out because they own all the satellites, like we saw in Q. They took Snowflake and Big Bird and all that. And so they control these 4 trillion watt lasers like they burned Paradise down with. So those ships, when they try to get out of the DUMBs, earthquakes don't happen 3 kilometers in the air. That's obviously an explosion taking place of something that is in stealth mode.
What about Brazil? Someone wanted to know about Brazil. Have they done anything there?
Yeah, I have a general that it's secondhand. I have a person that is in Brazil that contacts me that knows a general that's in the Alliance in Brazil, and they're up in the Amazon areas of Brazil, and they're working on taking DUMBs and rescuing children, which is huge in Brazil.
Right.
Okay, people want to know about JFK Jr.
Sorry, I'm not allowed to talk on that.
Okay.
Somebody
Somebody wants to know about a recent 5.1 earthquake in Poland. There has never been one there before. Is it a dumb?
Well, let me give you the exact location, and I can tell you which one in Poland was. So what I do to go to, I go to the YouTube site, California Seismograph, capital C, small a, capital S, seismograph. And from that site, California Seismograph, if you click on that, on the bottom of that, you'll find a link to the USGS. So if you go to the USGS site from California Seismograph, you'll find you have the earthquakes come up. And that's the USGS earthquake site. So then if you go to the top right corner, you have a little gear and you can click earthquakes and change your settings. So I like to go to, if we want to do, say 7 days, all magnitudes, we can do that. Click on that. And then if I go to Poland, now that I'm there, which I just did all that, let's see, Poland. So that was more than a week ago. I'll have to go to 30 days. So I go to 30 days worldwide. And in Poland, we have at exactly 10 kilometers down, a 4.9 earthquake at Rudna, Poland. So exactly 10.0. We also, to show you what I'm talking about, this one's heading towards getting the gold in Geneva, Switzerland. But in Samoyens, France, a 10.0 kilometer depth earthquake. And then in Croatia, we have 2 at exactly 10 kilometers, one in Dubrava and another one, and obviously, again, DUMBs, because earthquakes don't always happen exactly at 10 kilometers down. Another one is Zdenci. And then in Romania, we have another one. And then in Herzegovina, in Bosnia, there's another one in Blagaj. And then if we go to Greece, there's another one in Perachora that was in exactly 10 kilometers. Another one in Arkavi, Greece. Then if you want to go into Africa, you have Batna, Algeria, another one exactly at 10 kilometers. You can go to Turkey, another one exactly at Orta, Turkey, exactly at 10 kilometers. Another one in Golmararia, exactly at 10 kilometers. Another one in Syria, in Deir ez-Zor, Syria. In Ghana, this is a big one. This they took out last month. This is Gabwawe, and president of Ghana said that the COVID is fake right after they took the dam out. So he got cleared of the cabal because they took the dam out from underneath his feet. Then going up through Democrat in Congo, we have one at 10 kilometers exactly, going up that waterway going up into Uganda. And then you have the one exactly at 10 kilometers in Uganda. Then if you go up, for example, into China, they've been even doing ones in China. So for example, in Hotan, China, 10 kilometers. In Xinjiang, Kirsten can correct my pronunciation.
Xinjiang.
Yeah, exactly 10 kilometers. And so it's just really fascinating. Another one in URUMQI, China, with UMFLAs over the U's. That's another one at 10 kilometers. That's northern China. Another one at Hami, China, 10 kilometers exactly. Another one at Guangdong, China, exactly 10 kilometers. Another one at, I mean, how many times are you going to say we have earthquakes all over the world exactly at 10 kilometers? So I mean,
but the ones in Italy, most of the gold was taken out, right, under the Vatican.
That's all. We did that show, and I showed you those massive earthquakes underneath the Vatican,
right,
where they took all that out. So
and they killed.
If you give me share, can I share? No. If you give me share, I can show you what I'm looking at on my screen.
Okay. Why don't? How do I do that?
On the bottom of your screen, you'll have participants, chat, share screen in green. If you click share screen on the bottom and look at it, on the right edge of that, you'll have an up arrow button or an up caret.
Oh, your baby's crying.
Yeah,
she's
playing mama with her toy and crying for her baby.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what do you want me to do? Someone can tell me what to do. Okay.
Click on your share screen.
I am on a share screen. Okay.
Okay. You see that green square? On the right edge of that green square, you should have an up caret.
Yes.
You hit the up caret and it'll allow
advanced
sharing, and then it should allow you to me to be able to share my screen. Multiple
participants.
There you go.
Okay. Ann taught me how to use the live. You're teaching me how to do this. I'm going to make Ann teach me how to. There you go. That's what Gene's famous for. This.
So now, if we look, you can see my screen. These are all the earthquakes, okay? And on the left, you can see 10 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 10. Here's a natural one, 38.4, 49 natural, 8.7, but 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 8.7 natural.
Wow. There's no other excuse, Gene, like it could just be they couldn't get an accurate reading, so they say it's around 10, they just do that as a default.
Oh, they get perfectly accurate readings. And so the reason it's the DUMS are at 3, 5, and 10. So if we go to the US in the Texas region, they'll be more shallow because of the strata. So if we go over there, you're going to see more likely to be 5 kilometers. You do have some.
Do we have any in Florida? Because we're like a water state. We're like a sandbar. I can't imagine we have.
There are some, and they were taken out last year, most of them. So we have this one, for example, in New Mexico. That's 5 kilometers. They're a little shallower because of the
oil. That's the West Texas oil area.
Right. Yep. So.
Oh, baby.
Hold on. Let me, baby, hold on. You gotta stop crying.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
When you do him on the show, when you get him on the show, you need this.
Yeah, so what you see here, if we're looking, here's again, and you can click and zoom in. So if that's, 5.5 is what you expect to see something natural at 5.5. But then if we look here, we have 5 kilometers, 5 kilometers. And so how they create these DUMS is they have a boring machine. And on the front of it, it has a particle beam. It's only about 1 meter in diameter. As the force of gravity pulls us down, the particle beam is boring as it's falling with the force of gravity. It's boring just using the force of gravity to bring it down. And it has a timer. And on the back, what the timer is on a neutron bomb. And so as the timer gets to the countdown, and they know how fast this thing falls with the force of gravity as it's using the particle beam to fall and bore. When the timer runs out, the bomb goes off, and you create a massive cavern with that neutron bomb. But a neutron bomb does not have any residual radiation. So as soon as that cavern's formed, once the blast is done, there's no residual radiation. Then all they have to do is pump liquid nitrogen into the cavern, and it cools within 24 hours. It's cool. And it's also an inert gas. And so now it's clean from any kind of, materials that the bomb could have converted into gases that are hazardous. It's all been flushed out by the nitrogen, and now it's clean. So now you just pump oxygen, a normal atmosphere in there. You go in with a linear boring machine from a current tunnel or dome, and you just bore in sideways. And then all you have to do is build the infrastructure in there. And literally in 1 month, you can build a brand new dome. And that's why you see all of these 5-kilometer domes here. Like we see this one over here. And then, like I was saying, if we go, we go up, for example, to Idaho, you're going to see some very odd, like here you would see 10.7. That's, kind of obviously probably natural. 10.1, you would expect, of course, but what you're seeing now, because you're seeing a lot of earthquakes in one place. This is a dumb takeout. And so the earth, they're doing many destructions of many domes. And so it's causing earthquakes to happen now because you're blowing up so much stuff going on. And so that's what you'd expect to see. So if we go, for example, to Wyoming, like this one, it goes, look at the depth. Minus 3.3.
Right.
An earthquake 3 kilometers above the ground, right? An airquake, there's a dome that's this is near Rock City. There's a dome near Rock City, and they took this dome out that's here. So another thing
it was above ground. It was an above ground dome in like some rocks?
No, Rock City. So what I can do also is, if I want to, let me do this. Let's move this over here so it's out of the way. I can also, so you can see terrain if you want to. I'm just in grayscale, but I can then show. So not Rock City, Rock Springs. Rock Springs, so the dome is in this area here, and there was obviously an exit from there, and the craft tried to escape, and it got airborne. So if we look over here, what you're seeing, is that was a craft trying to get out of that dome they were taking out. There's also another dome I know that's in Lander, which is nearby. So Lander's up here, and Riverton goes under Lander, Riverton area. And so, it's interesting. People were saying, Gene, you're crazy with hundreds of domes all over the US. And now all these earthquakes are you overlay the earthquakes, this map of where all these earthquakes are, these 10-kilometer, 3-kilometer, 5-kilometer earthquakes. And it just happens to overlie exactly where I had my domes 2 years ago on Rick's show. And it happens to overlie where COVID is highest. It happens to overlie sanctuary cities. It happens to overlie the highest COVID case numbers, the highest illegal immigrants numbers. All of this matches up. At what point do you go, there's a little too much coincidence for me?
Right.
It's, at what point does, all of these maps have the,
all right.
Yes.
Ricky Raiders 17 wants to know what's up with Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is actually a natural supervolcano. So
yes.
If we look at Yellowstone, let's move this out of the way. However, we do also have dome that use some of the old lava tubes. They use them for tunnels. So the volcano is like, the upper corner crossing all the way up into Montana and over to Idaho. But there's this ridge that you see running along the Wind River range. Underneath the Wind River is going under the Tetons. There's a dome under the Tetons, and they're using a lava tube that goes up. Yellowstone's here. This is the cauldron of the supervolcano. What you're seeing is this ridge.
Mm-hmm.
This whole ridge, this is the cauldron of a supervolcano. This whole thing, Yellowstone Lake, all of this area, this is the edge of the volcano, all of this. There's another one like that down in Colorado that's a super volcano in Colorado. So if you go to the San Luis Valley, this area right here, excuse me, not Gunnison, the San Luis Valley. So let me find, oh, there we are. This is a super volcano. This range, the Sangre de Cristo range and the
San Juan Mountain.
San Juan Mountain range. This is the bed and the entire over here, what are called the West Elks over in this area are all ash. There are thousands of feet deep ash from the last time this super volcano erupted 650,000 years. The ash plume went to the southeast and created the Elk Creek and West Elk Mountains. And so, you know, there's some of these super volcanoes on Earth, which that one's very dormant, but Yellowstone is not dormant at all. But there are lava tubes that are now empty or solid. And so they're using this as a maglev system. So again, if you look, it goes, like I said, it goes under Grand Teton, and then it's going to come up here and it's going to turn and go right over to this dome. So that's why you're going to see. And then from there, you're going to see, if we zoom out, you can actually see the line of the tunnels often in the earthquake structure, you know. So if you look, you can see tunnel lines a lot of times like this. If we take this line from the tip of Vancouver, which was a dome they took out, Vancouver Island, about 2 months ago, which is huge child trafficking going up into Canada. But if you look at the line of earthquakes, it literally goes, sorry about zooming in and out there. I'm not good with my zoom. You can see the line that it takes straight up. That's the maglev tunnel system. And then
that's the train, right? The magnetic trains that go really quick.
And so then again, if we, you know, it goes up and they use the pipeline. When they'll put the Alaska pipeline in, they use that to build a dome. You know, it's a cover to build a dome under it. So they had all the equipment up there, so they use that to build a dome. So if we zoom in on this area, we'll probably see some earthquakes. It'll be odd, and perhaps not. They may be done up there. It was I think it was about last year, so they're probably not going to be on the list here anymore. Yeah, that's all gone, I think.
Good. So how many % are we now cleared in America?
The U.S. is reaching about 92%.
Wow, that's awesome. We were at 80% before. Now we're 92. How about South America?
South America is kind of just starting. So there's one, Alaska. So this is the dome here off. And this, again, they use the continental shelf boundaries. They have a tunnel, a maglev on the edge of the plate that they put a train going one way on one side and going the other way. And so this exactly, and you're going to see an inordinate amount of tens on the continental plates, which shouldn't make any sense because you're going I mean, that's where the continents are pulling apart. You should see massively deep earthquakes, not something at 10 kilometers. So this one you're seeing right here, that's part of the maglev system they're taking out. And that's probably the one that's going over to Vladivostok, which I think they took that out last month, if I'm correct here. So yeah, we're seeing here in the Aleutians 10s, again, taking it out. And then let's see, that's a 10 for Vlad.
So that's under the ocean. The train is going right back and forth.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Anne doesn't understand, so she hasn't been in contact. When they make those tunnels, the boring machine liquidizes the rock and makes it like glass.
Yep.
You know, right?
And then they take all the air out of it once it's sealed, so there's no air resistance. So the train can go really fast because there's no air resistance. So like I said, here's the tunnel at 10 kilometers that's going in under the previously secret Soviet submarine base in Vladivostok. So as you can see, Petropavlovsk, it's going in Petropavlovsk to go under Vlad. And then we're also going to see another maglev going up, go into the Sea of Kutsus, riding that continental shelf. So if we go down in that area, we're going to most likely find an earthquake in the 10 region. One of these earthquakes will be them cleaning out the maglev in that area. There it is. And see, I know that. I know where the tunnel line runs. So I know I'm going to find one of these earthquakes are cleaning it out. It's going to be at exactly 10 kilometers. And it's probably going to be near land. Because it helps to have base on land to go down into the maglev, so you can have people, flying by helicopter, go down, catch a submarine, and go up underneath there. And so this little island right there, that's going to be where they can get down into this maglev train tunnel system that was running down there. And I also know they took out Tunisia and Japan. So if we go to Tunisia, we're going to see a lot of 10 earthquakes in Tunisia, in this area right here in Tunisia. Right.
All right, Kirsten, I have a call with a congressman who's running against Ilhan Omar with Lacey Johnson at 5:15. This is fascinating. Gee, fascinating stuff.
Yep.
If you guys have a chance, go
Crazy
over to
fantasy worlds.
Amazing. Yeah.